Hey, my name's Cormac Quinn, and I'm the founder and CEO of LoyalBe. We're a bank-connected rewards app that helps brands attract and retain customers. For me personally, it was very scary and nerve-wracking at first, especially considering my background was software engineering, and I typically would have been coding all day rather than pitching to investors. But you just have to kind of get into the mindset that you're going to learn each time you pitch. You're going to learn about your business, you're going to learn about objections, and you're going to grow. And now, we've raised almost £1 million, and we did most of that over Zoom, actually, throughout the lockdown. I had no idea really how they'd actually work in practice and how the valuations would work. But I have to say, I found them quite straightforward. I think if you have good investors, whilst they're trying to get the best deal for their LPs, they also recognize that they can't over-dilute the founders and the team. Everybody generally wants to come to a good agreement to move forward and to grow the business. I guess I expected more investors to be sharks and to really be driving that price home, but in our experience, they've been quite reasonable when you're reasonable as well. Oh, it feels fantastic. It feels really great, to have outside validation for, your idea, your product, your company, and to have an investor willing to pay, that price for that valuation. The valuation process itself can be quite quick. Usually investors have an idea of what they want to pay for the business based on similar businesses and businesses at a similar stage. And you yourself might have an idea of what it's worth, from talking to other founders and investors. That's in contrast to the overall, investment process, which takes much longer than people think. If you think you're probably going to raise money in a month or two, I would say that's going to be near impossible unless you're the next Facebook. Give it 3 to 6 months and expect to work at it. Yeah, we reached a fair agreement and we got there in the end. A good question to ask investors is, what are other similar companies being valued at? And I don't think that shows that you're clueless. Rather, it tells them that, you don't spend your day trying to value companies like they do. And once you kind of ask a few investors that, you tend to get a good idea of what the valuation should be. The first is to not be afraid of rejection. You're probably going to get a lot of it. It's part of the process. It doesn't mean that the business or the product isn't right. It just could mean that it's not that investor's focus or it doesn't fit into their worldview. The second thing I would advise all founders to do is to dedicate proper time towards fundraising. You may not particularly enjoy the process, but you've got to take it very seriously. You're trying to finance the company that you're looking to grow, and you want good investors to back you. And that could take several months, but it will pay off and it will pay dividends. And then the final thing I'd probably say is just know your worth. Founders can tend to undervalue themselves, but if you go in with some reasonable traction and a decently validated product, you should be demanding a reasonable valuation as well.